Hi, so welcome back to another video. Now, ignore the tape of my fingers because I know someone's probably going to point that out. Have a bit of an injury going on there. But anyway, this video is specifically for advice for Gcse, so I'm thinking I could only think of five, I guess, things that I would give advice for, so let's get into it. So my first advice would be with annotations, I personally recommend printing them off, just because, I mean, with me, I got really annoyed with writing all the time. And I think if you get annoyed with writing or your writing's just not very neat, then I would recommend just printing it off because it is just easier, it's quicker. But I think writing it does look nicer, but it's just more time consuming. And obviously if you make a mistake, then it's more difficult to wipe off. If you get annoyed with that, then it's just gonna kind of be it might just stress you out. So sometimes I just do think it's easier to just to type it. Backgrounds. Now, backgrounds should not be too complicated. They should not be the center of attention. It is your artwork or photos that you're presenting that need to be the center of attention, not the background, because they are there to enhance and support and show off your artwork. So I would just recommend doing something simple. Obviously, I mean, some of mine aren't that simple, but they still work with it. Even if it's just borders, something plain and simple, that's okay. It's your artwork needs to be the center of attention. The artist research pages, I do think that's a bit different, because with those, I just kind of matched the artist's vibe. That's what I did with the backgrounds for that. I didn't really fall into I want to make their artwork the center of attention. I just wanted to match the vibe of their artwork, which is what I recommend doing because, as you can see, I think it turns out very nice. Yeah, so number 3. Please make sure you pick a theme that you are passionate about. Do not pick anything that is going to bore you or just make you unmotivated. It needs to be something that you are going to be passionate about and want to finish, because you are going to be doing your sketchbooks for roughly 1.5 years. And that is a long time to just spend 1.5 years focusing on one specific topic. And that includes the holidays. You do these during the holidays. You need to pick something that you're going to want to do constantly. For example, with me, the first thing that I thought of doing was animals, and I actually started doing that for about 2 months, and then I realised I don't want to do animals, and then I picked identity. And I don't know what I would have done if I picked animals and continued to do that. I would have been so bored. So that's why you need to pick something that you're gonna like. So techniques and materials. Please, oh my god, I cannot stress enough, you need to have a variety of materials and techniques being used so that you can show your skills to the exam board. You show your skills to them, which allows you to have a higher grade. So it can be things like sketching, painting, gouache paint, acrylic, did I say acrylic? I don't know, oil paint, just needs to be a variety of stuff that can show your skills, and then that way because this is supposed to be a journey, once you get to the end, then you know what you are best at, you know what you're going to be the best at. When you get to the end of your work, when it comes to doing your final pieces, both of them, one for your coursework, one for your actual exam, then you know what you are best at doing. And finally, number 5. With photos, ideally you need to try using your own photos. I mean, if you can't, it's not the end of the world. There are some most of the photos I've used are from the internet, especially my Gcse. So please do not worry if it's not, but I just recommend using your own photos because I feel like it's easier to, my brother's theme for art Gcse is dinosaurs. He can't go out on the street and just take a picture of a dinosaur. So it's with situations like that, it's a little bit different. Also helps your grade a bit. It just helps enhance the work because especially if you've taken it yourself, you've taken that specific photo, it just shows photography skill, especially if it's good quality. So yeah, very short video, but that's kind of all the advice just 5 tips and advice that I have to give. But yeah, thanks for watching.